Hi everyone, it's Ben from Gwinear Angling here, and welcome to the Gwinear Guide to Feathering from Mackerel. So mackerel fishing is a really popular and fun way of angling. Today I've come to probably Newquay's most famous mark for it, the Fly Cellars, very popular down here. And I've brought with me the Coast Slinger combo. At the time of making this video, this is what we'd sell you in the shop if you were coming looking to do a little bit of mackerel fishing. Maybe for the first time or as someone returning to sea angling after a layoff, that sort of thing. This is just a basic meat and potatoes rod and reel. It's already got line on it. All you got to do is thread the rod carefully, making sure not to miss an eye, put a set of feathers on the end and you're ready to fish. So let's get all that started. I'm going to show you how to rig up, show you all the techniques. Let's go. Okay, so I've got my rod all set together. Now it's time to start thinking about putting a set of feathers on the end. I've got three styles with me today. I've got these sort of turkey feather style ones, quite old school, traditional. Sometimes these come in multi-colours, but these ones are white. They still work really well. Got a set of daylights, which is a more modern style. I don't favour these so much, but some people like them. And these are my favourites, the old silver shrimps. When I was a kid, these were like the poshest feathers you could get, so I always feel pretty confident when I've got a set of these on my line. So let's start having a look at how we're going to set these up, ready to cast out. Okay, so once you've opened your packet, picked your lures off the card, this is what you've got. A string of 4, generally. Sometimes there'll be 1 or 2 more, but the feathers that we sell in the shop, there's 4. So what you'll find is you've got a loop at either end. Now you can, if you want to, tie your line straight onto there and connect your lead via a loop to loop. But what I want to show you is a way of ensuring greater longevity of your feathers by putting a swivel at the top and a link at the bottom. And how we're going to do that is we're going to loop it on. So I've got a swivel here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass the loop through the eye of the swivel and then tuck it back over. So the swivel is loop to looped on there. That makes a nice secure connection. Same with the link. So put the eye of the loop through the eye of the link, double it back over, pull through, and the link is connected on. What you can do then, so I've got a 3-ounce lead here, clip that on, tie the swivel to the main line, and you're ready to cast out. Okay, so I'm going to tie the swivel onto the main line using what's called a uni knot. So I go through the eye of the swivel and I've doubled over there. Now I form that back into a loop and pinch it, and I go through that with this tag end 4 times. Now at this point, put a little bit of saliva on. That's just to make sure the knot doesn't get hot and burn itself. Tighten it up, pull it back down, and there you go. That's your knot. Normally I would, if I was being tidy, I'd clip that tag end off, but just for demonstration purposes, I'm not going to bother. You probably should. All right, so here we go. Got the rod all set up, got the reel ready. Before you cast out, make sure your drag is done up nice and tight so you don't get the spool slipping when you cast. I'm going to cast probably with my lead about half the length of the rod. And out she goes. Several ways you can do this. I let the lead hit the bottom first usually to start. Reel tight to it. Sweep the rod round and then reel down till the line is tight. Sweep the rod round and reel down. Sometimes I like to just hang the rod in the air and feel the set of feathers dropping. Quite often you'll get a bite when that happens. Reel down. Towards the end of the retrieve, depends where you're fishing. If you're fishing somewhere with rocks in front of you, like this is a pier with rocks out in front, I tend to just retrieve quite quickly the last bit of it, just to make sure that I don't get snagged on any rocks or anything like that. So again, cast out. I have the line on my finger, feeling for the drop of the lead. Just hit the bottom. Reel tight to it. Sweep the rod. And then reel down until you're tight again. Sweep the rod. Reel down tight. I'm fishing quite slow here. You should vary the pace at which you retrieve to find out what the fish want on the day. And come to the end of the retrieve. I'm fishing with a 3-ounce lead here as well. If you're fishing somewhere with a bit deeper water, stronger tide, or you want to get out a bit further, you can step that up to 4 ounces with this rod without any issue. Again, line on the finger, just feeling it down. It's at the bottom. Try a slightly quicker retrieve. What you may find when you're doing this, so it's a good idea to change your stance every now and again and try and use your body to do the sweep rather than your arms. Because if you're doing this all day, it gets tiring. Okay, so now we're going to try a cast with me retrieving as soon as it hits the water. Okay, so immediately I'm not waiting for it to hit the bottom. Just retrieving as soon as it hits. You'll find this technique is good for mackerel in the upper layers. So you might be thinking, how will I know when I get a bite? Well, usually the mackerel won't leave you in much doubt when they hit your lures. Quite often it will be when you start a sweep, the rod will just lock over, go solid. Now, it could be 1, it could be 4 mackerel, you don't know. So don't be surprised if there's quite a lot of pressure on there. You might feel like you're snagged up even, but it's just 4 fish going 4 different ways at the same time. So take your time, try and get them in. If there's any obstructions in front of you, make sure you get them up near the surface towards the end of that fight. And as we always advise people when fishing around Newquay, if there's any seals around, you might want to step up that whining a bit, because the seals around here are masters at nicking the mackerel off your line, and you don't want to lose your precious fish. Here you go, nice little mackerel on the silver shrimps. Just the one that cast, but this is the sort of size we tend to get them this time of year. Quite small really, you'd hope for better ones for eating really, but quite a nice size for bait. Okay, so just a couple of helpful hints about mackerel fishing. Remember, mackerel are a shoal fish. They move fast and they tend to run through areas very quickly. So don't be surprised if you get quite a lot of slow patches when you're feathering and then flurries of activity. It's quite rare that they're just a big ball of fish in front of you for the whole time that you're fishing. Make sure to keep checking your line and particularly your set of feathers and around the lead regularly to make sure the line's not getting frayed or weakening in any areas, because quite often you'll be fishing around other people and you don't want any nasty break-offs or anything like that that could potentially hurt someone. So I hope you've enjoyed this little look at feathering for mackerel and it's inspired you to want to have a go yourself. Just pop into the shop and we'll sort you out with all the kit you need. If there's anything else you want to ask, you can do so while you're in there. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel as well, because it really helps us out. So anything else you want to ask, anything I haven't explained well enough, just pop it in the comments below and I'll get to it as soon as I can. See you next time. Cheers.